Welcome back, guys, to Trails to Azure, where last episode, after a second dialogue patrol of St. Ursula Hospital, we boarded the Merkaba to move on to a new landing spot found by Tio, Armorica Village's field that had been overrun by Pleroma grass. After talking our way around, we met with the Hayworths, who told us of an unknown rebel group active in the ancient battlefield, which we now head to check out. Bye-bye for now, Mr. Doggy. I hope we can play together next time.
I will permit it if time allows. Since joining your division, I have found that small children are drawn to me increasingly often.
You should have read the fine print. This comes with the territory of being a police dog.
Chief Toller was the one who had invited my family to stay in the village to begin with. The offer was extended to both myself and Pete for our parts in solving the fraud case, though it would seem that he declined.
Oh, so it was thanks for solving that whole Minif ordeal. Well, on the bright side, at least Pete wasn't stranded here too. Yes, I feel the same.
CDF encountered a rebel force at the ancient battlefield just off of Old Armorica Road. Be cautious making your way there.
It's concerning that the rest of the SSS is unaccounted for. I pray you're able to reunite with them soon.
Why, thank you, man.
After all we have been through, nothing will stop us from bringing the team back together.
Indeed. I'm pretty sure dialogue won't have changed at this point. Maybe when we come back. But it's time for us to head out by the look of it. I mean, I don't think we have anything else to equip.
So, off to the ancient battlefield then. Yeah, we may not know who these rebels are, but I think it's something worth finding out. They may be willing to work together with us. I agree. We have little to lose in seeking them out.
And we should make haste at once. That we shall. Hour 90 has been passed. And dialogue has not changed. So off we go. I don't have a car. How am I supposed to top up as I go out here, there, and everywhere? Hopefully there's not just a cryptid block in the way. Then maybe I shouldn't say anything, because one might just plop on me again. You know what I mean? Well, there's the monster we need for a quest. You're big. Burst? Why burst now? An ancient reptile monster. It increases its strength by roaring. The Blade Fang. What trouble am I about to get into? Worrying. I don't know where there's a trial chest here then everywhere. There is anything for me to grab hold of. Not that I've got detection on, is it? It's a guy we fought before. It's weird going down the same roads, but the amount of I feel like the amount of stuff there is messing with the frames a little. Too much sparklies. There's no enemies? That's weird. There's Pleroma grass growing all the way out here too. Hardly surprising considering this is where the cult decided to set up shop. According to what Mr. Hayworth told us, the defense force has been ambushed here a multitude of times. I am detecting lingering scent in the air, though their sources have concealed themselves. I cannot identify them exactly, but I can assure you they are not to be trifled with. Duly noted. Keep your guards up. There's still the threat of cryptids appearing. Roger. Alonzi. Okay, the iron enemies are back. Unbreakable. We've gained that much level already? I wasn't expecting that. So where to go search, do you reckon? I'd say to the right first. We can easily bustle through most of the area. There probably isn't going to be cryptids around to face us. I do worry I might miss something from going a different area. But I do wonder if this gate's back up at this point. No, okay then. Let's check the other path first. And I've got to worry that there is just randomly spawning cryptids. So I can't run around too fast, can I? Though there's a lot of sepith from beating these guys up here, my goodness. Especially on turbo mode. We bash them up pretty fast. That's the thing, isn't it? It's only an explored area. Come back here. You're not even an inconsiderable amount of cash. You're actually quite considerable. I like it. Come back. Sepith demon. Yeah, I missed you. Nothing over here. Right, well, it's the waterway that was weird to me the first time we came here. And they saw us from that direction. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of makes sense that it's this way. So let's go down here. I'm sure there's nothing bad or cryptidy, right? There is a door at the end. And it's blocked off from the other side, but it might not be blocked off anymore. You just don't know. There's our catfish fishing spot. Okay, I guess this is not the way to go. I guess I should probably stop trying to make this a place. Because it's not working out for us, is it? Oh, curious that there's nothing down here this time, he keeps saying. Then he goes back there and there's nothing down there again. My disappointment is palpable and it has ruined my day. I'm mainly beating them up less for the sepith and more to stop my obvious nearly running into them. The sepith is just a beautiful bonus, right? Look at it, like that's so much money when you think about it. Oh, shoot! Is that about the gate? A trap, and we walked right into it. Oh. The Red Constellation. These must be the ones whose sense I caught wind of. Haha, and here we were, feeling all down on ourselves for coming up empty-handed. Good thing some fresh new game just landed square into our laps. Commander Randolph's buddies, huh? The President and the Defense Force will owe us big time if we bring them in. 6 Jaegers and 4 military monsters. Hey, look alive, man. Praise it is most dangerous when cornered. We'll take this nice and slow. Make sure to neutralize them one by one. Think you can last standing toe-to-toe against the Red Constellation? Better show us what you got, SSS. With pleasure. Do whatever it takes to break their lines. This is a bit of a fight, isn't it? Okay, it's 2 on 2 down the bottom. I can't reach the 2. So I should go here to pull these towards Lloyd. They've got a bit of HP. Granted. I mean, examining the dogs would be faster if we wanted to kill them as a priority. Wait, can I summon Zeit? You get me, right? A high mobility military monster used by the Red Constellation aims for the vitals with veracity. Like, I need to spread my guys out, you know what I mean? This is bad, them being that close to each other. But also I have this. And this on a critical. Is that okay to cast? I think I shouldn't cast this. Damn it. It'll be you then. I don't know if we can slow anyone else down or not. I think I'll move to the side. I'm pretty sure it cut Lightland Volume in 0 too, whenever this spell was used. I think they would have survived no matter what, wouldn't they? Oh well, I'll use a battle scope. That'll get one of them done so I can start working on at least one more of them. Guessing we can't strength down them. Yeah, veteran Jaeger skilled with heavy firearms, capable of a variety of combat techniques. I'm bringing the Avalon Gate down on you now. The dogs have instant kill. They used it on the person who was fine with it, though. Veteran Jaeger that hunts down foes without mercy uses a formidable sword stance specific to Jaegers. Yes. I don't want to bring these guys over here, maybe. I don't know. But to be honest, I've got the other guys separate, so... What do I do? I guess casting a Tira on our lower HP guy isn't that bad. Breath doesn't reach both. Dio's spell efficacy goes up. The good old cougar equals dog? Yeah, it's totally a dog. What are you talking about? I had like a slow, do you know what I mean? That's what I was waiting for. Oh, we'd actually got hit. Means Lloyd will get hit by that as well because he's casting. Right, bring on the big spells. This makes me sad. This does not fill me with joy. Wondering at this point if I should just let Wazi destroy them, but there was more troops to come, do you know what I mean? So let's suck them in and reincarnate them. Okay, one's down.
Yosh.
And because of the position we're in, that's 2 dogs. Okay, they're gonna buff self.
任せておけ。
Good job des. I don't know what you want me to say about that one.
行きます。
That was just kind of dumb.
エニグマ鼓動。助かりました。
俺の番だな。えいで。悪いな。先に行かせてもらうよ。
He yelled himself to death indeed. Alright, whilst he's not going to level up off this one, but we get a little bit, and that's 1 wave. Oh, they're back up. Peh, you're pretty good. The defense force doesn't even begin to compare to these brutes. You don't become the baddest Jaegers around by playing soldier. We storm battlefields across this whole damn continent and make them our own. Pit us against those Ouroboros champs in a genuine fight and they'd fall apart. Hell, that wolf of yours could turn into whatever monster he wants even. You just hunt him down like any other beast. Would you now? So they know about Zeit's true form too. Maybe it would have been wise to contact a boss before coming here. You ain't getting out of it no matter what you do. No chance to get Henna. We keep putting you through the ringer, or you could just give up now. No chance, you say? I expected you hoodlums to know your surroundings better than this. Nice. Sao Lee! I thought you booked it out of here ages ago. Correction, you merely failed to apprehend us. Damn it! Spineless bastard! Don't back down, men! We have him outnumbered and out! Yin! So you're still in Crossbell after all? If bringing so few Jaegers is your idea of a joke, your sense of humor is sorely lacking. You do well not to underestimate Hayworth. Son of a... What's our move? Out of consideration for our guests, we will do the courteous thing and allow you to leave this time. However, when next you return, I recommend bringing a more sizable force. Be certain to bring the Scarlet Ogre or Bloody Shirley along with you. The festivities simply wouldn't be complete without them. I'll pass that along. You'll regret this once we have your heads on a pike. Open the gate! Withdraw! Phew. Over at last. I was a little too close for comfort. Always happy to be of service. We meet again, Detective Bannings and friends. It's been far too long. Sao and... Risha. So that's where you went. You've been with them the whole time. Yes. This area is too exposed. We should take this conversation elsewhere. But of course, considering the nature of this long-awaited reunion, why don't we head to a venue with a more pleasant view? I was right. Interesting. So this is where you've been hiding around since the raid. Correct. The Coalsold Lodge made for a convenient refuge, ironically enough. We were even able to observe Ouroboros tinkering with that giant bell as a result. Then Professor Novartis was here as well. The same bell that hung in Central Square was used in the ritual to complete the Septarian of Zero. There's no doubt in my mind that it was an artifact this entire time. It would seem they returned it to the city once they were done here. We of Hayworth have been the only ones occupying this area ever since. Master Yin being the exception, of course. Risha. Please, Lloyd, I know this is a lot to ask, but could you find it in yourself to overlook what I've done? The crimes I've committed in this land. I cannot allow myself to be captured, but I intend to at least return to Calvert and spare you any further trouble. After I settle the score, that is. You mean you're seeking revenge? Those monsters stole something more precious than any other. An irreplaceable star, the sun that gave everyone hope. I cannot forgive it. I cannot forget. Which is why she so gracefully re-entered into a contract with us. We working side by side to oppose the Red Constellation, as we should be. Stay out of this. Listen to me, Risha. Are you aware that Ilya has awakened from a coma? Is that true? Yes, she regained consciousness immediately after the phenomenon on the President's inauguration day. While she is yet to fully recover, she is nevertheless awake and alert, as lively as she ever was. Oh, Hades above. Thank you. Thank you for granting her your mercy. Well, isn't that splendid? But you left out an important detail. I'm told she's paralyzed from the waist down and may never walk again, much less perform on stage. Sal, you knew this entire time, didn't you? But of course I did. However, Master Yin explicitly requested to remain ignorant as to Miss Platier's condition, so naturally I complied. Please, Master Sal, hold your tongue. Don't misunderstand us, Master Yin. Master Sal withheld that information to spare your heart the turmoil. Save your excuses. I've already made up my mind. Once I've settled this, I will leave Crossbell, never to return. Excellent. Hayworth looks forward to our continued cooperation. You all should consider pitching in as well, SSS. While our goals may differ, we share a common foe. It would be to the welfare of us both to join forces in these trying times, wouldn't you agree? I think I can, actually. On one condition. Risha comes with us. Lloyd, is that right? Risha, I have a message for you from Ilya. What is it that matters most to you? Can you truly turn your back in the face of what you hold dear? Despite what she's been through, Ilya refused to let any of it get her down. At first I thought she was only putting on a brave face, but the truth quickly became clear to me. Ilya Platier will dance again. She believes so with all her heart. It'll be an uphill battle the whole way, but she's already prepared to make the climb. She has total faith in herself. That kind of drive is difficult to attain, to put it bluntly. But all the same, her determination was infectious. Ilya's decided what she wants, and she's doing everything she can to get back on that stage. So Risha, what matters most to you? Revenge against the Red Constellation? Legacy of Yin that you inherited? Or could it be... I know what you want me to say, but I just can't. All my life I've walked a bloodstained path, bathed in shadows. These stains, I'll never be rid of them. That's beside the point, Risha. All I want to hear is what it is that matters most to you. What do you hold nearest and dearest to your heart? What is the single thing above all others that drives you to live? It's Arc-en-Ciel! I want to dance on that stage again. With Ilya, with Sully, with everyone else. That's all I want. I thought so. Master Sal. Think. Make the best of your bad situation. Exceptional as always, Detective Bannings. You've certainly made a mess of my plans, haven't you? Or rather, perhaps it would be more apt to say that Miss Platier won the day. I admit my defeat. Congratulations on your victory, and well done. Sal, I can't say I'm very sorry about it, and you shouldn't be. Truth be told, I'm absolutely fuming. But for the sake of our collaboration, I'll swallow my pride and let it go. Master Yin, or rather Rishia Mao, consider your current contract with Hayworth null and void. I leave you to your discretion. Thank you, Sal. You do well to remember that I have only given up this one time. I, as well as Hayworth, have greater aspirations, and your strength factors into that. In the meantime, do take care. I wish you the best in returning to the stage you hold so dear. Right. I will not falter. That was some of your finest work yet, Lloyd. Full of surprises, isn't he? A silver tongue like his is worth its weight in gold. It is abundantly clear why the divine child is so attached to you. Easy, guys. I was only the messenger this time. I'm just glad I could fulfill Ilya's request. One question, Detective Bannings. Just where do you suppose I could direct this frustration of mine? Come again. Why didn't I lay it out this way? Since you prevented Risha from working with us, it would only be fair that you join us in her stead. With a little training, you would be quite the asset on our front lines. What? Sal, are you serious? Master Sal makes a fair point. Your Tomfa expertise would be greatly enhanced were you to cultivate a mastery of our martial arts. That's flattering, but I couldn't. I thought you'd have gotten used to being headhunted by now. While we're at it, why not consider joining the Growls Ritter? Perks include more quality time with yours truly. That had better have been a joke, Wazi. And so Lloyd and the SSS formed a temporary alliance with Hayworth. Each group promised to aid each other in the event of an emergency, as well as share information on any breaking developments. Alas, Yin, Risha Mao, made her decision. In order to pursue her life's newfound purpose, she would join forces with the Special Support Section. Hey, don't take me up! I want to check out... Why? New blind spot detected. Relaying the data now, Fran. Heard. Found it. It's in northwestern Crossbell. Halfway up Mines Manning Path to be exact. It's near Mines. That broadens the scope of our operations quite a bit. Though I'm sure the enemy is starting to catch on to us by now. If I'm not mistaken, there's been a resistance group separate from Hayworth operating in the Mines area. Oh. Supposedly the one in charge is an ex-CGF guardsman who opposed the establishment of the Defense Force. Ah! Wait, really? It's not Randy, is it? We simply assumed that all the guardsmen were assimilated into the CDF. Their motivations for defecting are understandable. Red Constellation is being allowed to roam free despite having thoroughly decimated the Guardian Force. Those who could see through the treachery would not stand for it. And maybe Noe's there with them. Sorry, but I seriously doubt it. We saw the choice Noelle made. She was prepared to protect Crossbell no matter the cost. I don't think she would waver from that decision so easily. You're probably right. Noe has always been as stubborn as a horse, and as stubborn as one to boot. Strong as a horse, sorry. Stubborn too. Fran, back to the matter at hand. I think making contact with this resistance would be for the best. Their cooperation could be just as valuable as Hayworth's. Agreed. We should touch down as soon as we can. But before that, Risha, do you want us to stop by St. Ursula? Huh. Ilya really wanted to see you. I know it's still complicated, but we can always visit her together if you want. No, I'm going to have to decline. I'm still not ready to stand in front of Ilya with my head held high. At the very least, I want to wait until after we've taken back Crossbell City and Arkansas first. Alright. That is disappointing to hear, but we understand how you feel. I'm sorry, truly. If you have urgent business to take care of at St. Ursula, I do not mind disembarking with you. But unfortunately, I will not be going any further than the front gate of the hospital. As long as you're okay with it. It's a shame, but at least this proves that Risha is not the cold-blooded killer she thinks she has to be. Risha's joined the party. And Lloyd and Risha learn Twin Dragon Strike. Okay, well, I just want to be in the... Yeah, don't take me anywhere. I just want to be in the thing. Great. Right, well, game says I have to go to location, but obviously we're going to go back to Armorica and check out that more. We have to also check out St. Ursula as well, because there might be new dialogue there. You never know what these segments are moving the day along like. But until then, I have to equip it too. Oh no, she comes with her own stuff. Good. Thank you. Simple. I like it.
Right. That is the end of yet another episode and yet another session. It's been a big one. We've moved from chapter 4 into our finale, and this time we're rebuilding a bigger SSS by the look of it, considering Zeit is in here and Marisha too. But we have more members to grab in the future. Of course, as traditional, once we've got a book, we will of course be reading the book as our bedtime story, our end of week story indeed. So, Sunshine Agnes chapter 11. We didn't get this last week, but we've got it today. It's 8 pages. Sit back, relax, and we'll see that episode out. Chapter 11. Left only to scream. Agnes could tell that Edwin was making a clumsy attempt to tell someone through the graveyard. His lackluster performance was actually beginning to irritate her. Jeez, he's gonna get caught if he keeps this up, Agnes mumbled. That being said, she couldn't see who Ed was pursuing from a place in the shadows. Eventually, the chase concluded, rather uneventfully, at the top of the hill. Something's up, Agnes thought. By then, Ed had come out of hiding and was facing an unknown figure. Sorry, she gave me the slip again. Well, these things happen. Damn it, I thought for sure tonight would be the night. Still, Mr. Montaigne, was that little girl really created by a magician? Without a doubt. Inside that human-looking shell is a malevolent power, an evil spirit. You've done your research, so I know you're aware that she's been present at each and every accident, the man said as he waved his right hand in front of Ed. She steals lives with a single diagonal strike through the heart, he continued, tracing a line across his chest. Evil spirits create disturbances, and only magicians can perceive their presence. Is that so? Edwin sighed. Seems you don't fully believe me yet. In that case, let me tell you something else you may find interesting. The man leaned over to whisper into Edwin's ears, but in the calm of that moonlit graveyard, it felt as if he was speaking directly to Agnes. If you kill a magician, you can steal their powers. Agnes reeled, overcome with vertigo, rustling the weeds at her feet. She cursed at herself under her breath. Killing a magician? How could I be so blind? The estate manager, Hux Montaigne. I've completely fallen into his trap, she scolded herself. What the? Agnes, why are you here? Do you realize what time it is? Edwin was so dense that she wondered if she might be able to use it to her advantage. She stood, focused not on Edwin, but Hux Montaigne instead. So I've been your target this whole time, huh? I wasn't aware you were such a young lady, though. All those horrible acts, so much death just to get to me. You make it sound so frivolous when in fact this is the only way for an imitation like me to gain more power. Ed, run, get out of here! Agnes dashed straight at Montaigne. I've got to close the distance to get him away from Ed, she thought. Suddenly, Kagamaru, who had left Agnes's arms to run alongside her, turned around midway and meowed out in warning. Ah! An invisible force swept Agnes's legs out from under her, like she'd been flipped from behind. She somersaulted to the ground, a sharp pain coursing through her. Blood was gushing from her thigh. Something had pierced through it. A child's laugh echoed behind her as a red ribbon fluttered in the wind. You're the little girl who was in the cafe today? 'Tis. My papa's work is finishing up well. You told me so yourself. Tiz's porcelain skin undulated in the moonlight, as if something was squirming beneath the surface. My daughter is quite well made, isn't she? Boasted Hux. Agnes screamed with all her might. Ed, get away from him! A stunned Edwin then shook himself back to his senses, finally beginning to process the events transpiring before his very eyes. So all along, this evil spirit we've been chasing the past week was really just this thing you call your daughter. Montaigne, it was you all along. You're the magician, he shouted. This man is a fake, thought Agnes. He's just using the powers he stole from a real magician, from Weber Hart. Run, Ed, please, she yelled. Get out of here. Montaigne deftly raised his right hand as if he were commanding the attention of a rapt audience. My dear Edwin, I must thank you for bringing me the girl. However, this is the end of our partnership. Now you shall become a part of my power. Hux motioned toward the boy with his white fingers, and a crisp snap rang in Edwin's ears. Just like that, Edwin's eyes rolled back, and his body fell to the cold ground below. Sunshine Agnes is also seemingly reaching its climactic point. We'll continue more into our climax aboard this beautiful Merkaba of the ground Twitter. And next time, as we continue Trails to Azure, the end game is here. We must save the Septune of Zero. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.